Good evening, everyone, for coming over today to attend this webinar on the Design Exploration Program 2020, the summer workshop. Today is the pre-orientation. Um, and by pre-orientation, we mean by uh, this is a this is a 4-week program almost, with a lot of exciting activities happening in. And we're looking for giving you guys a brief, an orientation. Okay, so how this program starts is there is a 4-week program by itself, and it starts with an orientation, which is tomorrow, and that's a 1 hour that's a 3 hour orientation, which actually sets the entire tone for the overall 4 weeks. All right. Having said that, we would like to wait for a bit because a few more people are yet to join in. So we're just waiting for a few more people um, to join in. And yeah, so once they join in, then we can start off in a little while.
Meeting name.
All right. So we'll just hold on right now. It's 4 p.m. and we'll hold down for another 5 minutes um, maximum. Sorry, another 2 minutes maximum. So 4:02 we will start. Okay. So let's just hold on. All right. I will mute myself and I will be back in 2 minutes. Right. I just wanted to find out from you. So let me just talk about how you can interact with us here. While we speak, just 1 second. So while we speak, um, you may have to ask us questions. So what you can do is there is a small little questions tab. Can you see the small questions tab where you can type out your questions to us? If you can see the questions tab, please type in yes. If you can hear me, please type in yes. Yeah, I'm getting yes, fantastic. I'm getting some messages there. So now I know people are going to be coming. Um, People can hear me. Just in case y'all are not certain what I'm saying, um, just 1 second. Just in case y'all are not certain, there is a small little questions tab. Okay, counselors, if y'all are here, yeah. So will you start? Will you start? Will you start? Hold on. Just check the group. Right. Um, so counselors, please call up your the people your leads and ask them to join in. Some of them have still not joined in yet. Right. Um, If you can give us another 1 minute, please. Yeah, if you can give us another 1 minute, I think Sean will be joining in soon. Okay, right. So good evening, everybody. My name is Dion, and I lead one of the teams for DQ Labs. That's a team of counselors. And today we're going to be talking to you about. Let me just show you my screen, and I will also start my webcam so you can see who I am. All right, that's me. All right. Right. So I'm going to be switching this off soon and handing it over to Sean. But just so you know, we are going to be doing the webinar today. It's a pre-orientation webinar because the orientation is tomorrow, and it's a 3-hour orientation. So this webinar is for people who just want to understand what this program is about, the design exploration program, and how exactly we're going to be doing delivering the program. I understand there's an emergency situation right now, so people are not very sure how it's going to be done online, but rest assured, this is a beautiful program that we've done. And Sean is going to be talking about this. Just so you understand a little background about who we are, um, I'm hoping you can see my screen right now. Um, this is Umesh and Sean. Umesh and Sean are both designers from IIT Delhi. Umesh is a TEDx speaker and a former designer with Jaguar Land Rover in the UK and Hyundai Motors. Sean is a designer from IIT Delhi, a classmate of Umesh, and he's also worked with General Motors, the Advanced Design Studio, working on all the brands of General Motors. Both Sean and Umesh are co-founders of DQ Labs and Examplay. So I'm going to be handing this over to Sean. Right. I'm going to be handing this over to Sean. Sean, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You just make me the presenter. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to make you the presenter right away. And over to you, Sean.
Fine. Just a second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, Dion, can you 1 minute? Okay, Dion, can you see my screen? I just want to confirm.
Yes, yes, can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Great. Good evening, everyone. And this is a
Hello.
like.
Is it Ahana?
Yes. Yeah. Could you please put your phone on mic on mute, please? What we'll do is I'll just go through this quickly, and then towards the end, I'll open it for question and answers, and then maybe we can all you can ask your questions, and then we can discuss. Okay? Yeah. So if you could just put your phone on mic mute till we finish the basic presentation. I'm not going to take too much of time. I would like to go through it quickly. Okay, this is the design exploration program as it clearly states. It's exploring design. Okay, who is it meant for? You know, my child is creative and they like to draw, they like to paint, they like to do, you know, they're very innovative. So different options that they have. Okay, what are the different options? What are the career options? Actually, people have no idea. There is so many good options out there. So this is like, it's like an advanced career counseling. Like, okay, you know, in the field of architecture, design, visual communication, IT integrated design, product design. Okay, it's a very detailed introduction to this program in a fun way. Okay, in a way students will understand from grade 7 to grade 12, basically speaking their language. Okay, and if anyone's interested, then we can always take it forward and see what they're really interested in. Okay. So the objectives are to introduce the various opportunities in the field of architecture, design, fashion, and to creative students. Now, you'll be surprised, it's so varied. When it comes to fashion, it's not just restricted to apparel and garments and things like that. You'll be surprised that even fashion designers are employed in the car industry. Yes, of course, BMW, Ferrari hire fashion designers, right? Car interiors, color and trim. Uh, there's so much out there. So that's the whole purpose of this program. It's not just introduction to the students, it's also an introduction to the parents, because at the end of this program, each student will have to make a presentation, and we will discuss it with the parents as well, because it's more important the parents are able to understand and support as well. I wouldn't say more important, I would say equally important. Okay, fine. To help creative students think like designers do, think design and think like how designers do. Okay, give students exposure to design thinking and the design process, to give students exposure to famous designs, designers, design schools, and to also to identify and recognize good creative talent. Okay, fine. Now, there are different projects that we will cover during this program. It will be 15 different projects in which we will be covering various things like exhibition design, shelter, interior, logo design, game design, stop motion animation, apparel, shoe design, IT integrated design, UI UX design, and so on. Okay, and we will be giving you a little every day. We will take one program and we will be giving you some work to do on that program. Okay, so let's look at some fun sketches, some fun work that students have done. So let's say, for example, to your left is logo design. Okay, so now what happens here is compulsory. We make students do a certain amount of ideation work. Okay, we give them a context, we give them we give them an introduction, and they have to come up with ideas. They have to draw some ideas. It doesn't really matter. Good ideas, there's no such thing as good ideas or bad ideas. Just whatever comes to your mind, you just draw. And please understand, at this point of time, there's a big difference between artwork and ideas. That's the first thing I would like everybody to understand. We're really not interested in your artwork here or how well you draw, but we are interested in the idea. What comes out of your mind? What do I mean by an idea? Like, say, for example, let's say I could have a pair of shoes, or I could have a pair of shoes that gives out my location. Like, if I just tap a pair of shoes, I can alert somebody and say, okay, this is my location, this is the position of where I am. I hope you're understanding the difference of what that means. An idea is something that we're really interested in. Yes, of course, basic, simple drawing, as long as you're able to portray your idea to us, that is good enough. So that is logo design and shoe design done by two students with the different variations, different concepts, different ideation that they come out with is something that we kind of go through this. And please remember, towards the end of the program, for each student, one of the best ideas will be taken out and will be developed by our designers. So what you can see on the insert there, you can see a final idea of the student. So that's the student's drawing to your left out here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, and to the right in the image is the actual drawing. Why we do that is to give the student a sense of understanding as to, okay, how is your idea implemented in the real world? Okay, so typically what we had planned was also we take students for visits to architectural design and fashion schools and studios. Last time we've taken them to many schools. We've taken them to Total Environment, Tata Elxsi, many where they can see people at work. But Due to the lockdown, unfortunately, this part of the program is not possible. However, if the situation improves later on, even after the program is over, what we can do is possibly organize a visit if everything is absolutely fine and permissible. Okay, if it is practical, it can be done at a later date. Okay.
Yeah, Sean, I would just like to
So
add a small information here. So
yes.
yes, we are unable to go to other places to interact with them, but we are organizing e-meets. We'll be having 3 e-meets as per the schedule that we have shared, wherein the participants will get an opportunity to directly talk to these architects, fashion designers, or designers one-to-one in during that particular time, and also they'll get an opportunity to meet with the principals of various colleges. Okay, so we have organized those meetings, and it will be a part of this program this time. Okay.
Okay, so that is Umesh Kumar. So Umesh Kumar was my classmate, batchmate. We were together in IIT Delhi, and we are one of the instrumental people of starting DQ Labs some time ago. Anyway, so Umesh, please feel free to add in whenever you want to. I'll continue quickly with the presentation, and then possibly you can continue. Okay. So that's another one, app design. Okay, that's in fact very interesting. This is a design done by one of our students from the previous program. It's so what she says, network. Can you see that? So she's developed a few wireframes in which this is her concept done at the bottom. Of course, she did a presentation, but what you see to the right is some of her work, which is developed further by our designer. And it's all this work. Towards the end, we're going to have a small exhibition. I guess towards the end, we're going to have an online exhibition for everyone where everybody
Sean?
can see. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a request if you can switch your webcam on so that they can see you.
I, I think I would prefer to go without the webcam for now. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
As people can hear me and see the presentation, I think that's good enough for now. Okay. Okay. So okay. So that is the network. Sorry. The network concept that the student has done. App design. I mean, I'm sure a lot of parents who are in the software industry are quite familiar with IT integrated design, UX, UI, user experience, user interface design, where a lot of all the companies, doesn't matter how big or small, you require designers in the IT industry. Yeah, so do these designers really need to know software programming? Not really. Of course, they do understand some basics and fundamentals, but they are not programmers. They are the creative side of the design industry. Okay. Going ahead, furniture design, apparel design, library design, magazine cover design. So it doesn't matter what areas, like say for example, a student might be extremely interested in caricature or say transportation design. I've come across students who are very interested in transportation design and fashion design or things like that. However, every student has to go through all the exercises. It's more like an exploration. It's like, okay, I will like some, I may not like some, but you have to explore it all, because only when you explore it all, you are able to, get a sense of understanding of everything. And I think that's a good thing. If you're interested in the world of either architecture, design, or fashion, it's good for you to know that what all is available. It makes you more aware, or it makes you more stronger in the area that you want to specialize in. Shoe design, app design, jewelry, transportation design, shelter, poster, character, furniture. These are all different designs, different work done by students. Shelter design, furniture, magazine cover, shoe apparel, bag design, shelter design. Okay, so these are all the different areas that students have done their work in. So can you see that furniture? So it doesn't matter how crazy your idea is. Like say, okay, bag design to your right. Okay, so it's like your bag is following you. You're just walking around and your bag follows you. Some of these ideas actually are implemented, and some of these ideas are can be implemented. You'll be surprised how things come out of just thought processes like this. Logo, character, and this is really good. I really like this design. Grand cookbook, very nice, very sturdy visual communication design. Okay, so that's an overview. Everybody will be given a certificate of participation. Like we said, we'll be having an exhibition in which everything will be covered. Okay. Umesh, would you like to take it forward? Is there something you would like to add to this? Or Dion on the
Yes,
timing?
Sean, I would like to add a couple of points here. Okay, so
Yeah.
the objective of this particular program is to, number one, give exposure to students and parents as well. Many a times what happens is students learn about architecture, fashion design, and they kind of create some opinions based on what they hear or what they read. But it is better for them to experience what a designer does firsthand and then take a call whether they want to pursue this further or not, right? So number one, to give them exposure in terms of architecture, fashion design. Number two, to help them make a decision whether they would like to take this particular career as their profession, or would they like to look for something else. Whether the outcome is yes or no is good for them, because if they feel that yes, this is what they have to do after participating in this um, nearly 20 days of workshop, that is well and good, because they are taking an informed decision. If at the end they'll say that, okay, this is not what I thought design was, or maybe this is not what I would like to do, then it's also fine. At least now they are able to figure it out at an early stage, and they're trying to chalk out or figure out a different path, right? So this is the primary objective. And secondly, when you're seeing here the work of students, right? So Sean, if you can just scroll up to any one of the images, or you can go to the shoe image where there are 40 different ideas, right? So as Sean has rightly pointed, we are not looking into the quality of drawing, but we are looking at the quality of ideas. No, it is the quantity and quality both that we are looking at. Okay, and let us say if I ask you to design a logo or come up with some idea, most of the cases people come up with two or three and they say that, okay, this is the best I can come up with, right? But as design professionals in the profession, what we do is we create vast amount of ideas, because we don't want to lose out on any of the promising ideas, right? So in fact, when we were designing this Land Rover DC, when we were redefining the styling, I was working with the advanced Jaguar Land Rover Advanced Design Studio in the UK. So we were 10 international designers, and we have also called about 15 to 20 external designers to come and work with us, right? So all put together, we have generated some 2,000 different ideas for the styling of the car, right? So we come up with variety of ideas, and that is a part of the process. It's a very important part of the process. It's called ideation, right? Now, if you enjoy the process of ideation, okay, because that is one of the crucial element of the design process, then we can fairly say that, yeah, you kind of enjoy what you will be doing as a designer, right? Because generating these number of ideas is not that easy. Yes, there are some tools and methodologies to generate that we are going to teach you in this process. So we encourage students to come up with at least 30 different ideas, and it is not easy in a duration of 3 hours. But we help the students with some tools, tips, techniques on generating of these ideas, right? So that is the first step. The second step is, now imagine this 30 ideas into 15 different projects is like 450 ideas. So what we do is, me and Sean, we personally go through all of the ideas along with the faculty, and we kind of shortlist one of the ideas per student which are very, very promising. And what we do is, we ask our design team to develop it further and show it back to the student and the parent. And there is a reason why we do this, right? We can easily say that, okay, we look at some students drawings and we say that, okay, this idea is perfect, excellent, you have a great future, etc. You may not relate it to what we are talking, right? So as a designer, when we see even a scribble, we can understand the potential of that idea and we can express that. But as a non-designer, as a layperson, when you see the same sketch, you may not understand the power behind that idea, right? So that is the reason we ask our designers to develop one idea per student and showcase it back to the student. For example, if you see here, there's a shoe on the right side panel, a sketch done by the student, okay? And we see that it's a great potential, it has great idea. Now the very interesting thing is, you see this band of colors, the band of colors on the shoe, they are replaceable, right? So to match the dress of the user, right? Now that's a very interesting thing. So that may not be captured that efficiently in the sketch done by the student, but it can be captured efficiently in when a designer sketches it or illustrates it, right? So that is what we do for every student, right? So we are taking that extra mile to show it back to the student how powerful their idea is, so as to instill the confidence in the student and the parent as well, right? And Sean, can you just scroll them up a little bit? Yes. So now we pick different ideas from different students. For example, can you see that? Can you show that automobile styling? You know, Sean, can you just scroll down a bit, a little bit? Oh yeah, see that? Okay, the transportation design. Okay. Now this is a very nice, interesting concept. Now what you see here, okay, this is a sketch in the circle. In the circle over there, you see the sketch done by the student. Okay. Kuteja, can you please mute your mic? All right, thanks, Kuteja. Right, yeah, you see this sketch. This is a sketch done by the student. It's part of the exercise that we do for automotive design. And we actually make 3D models using soap and simple tools like spoon and fork, which are easily available at home. And once that is done, now you see the sketch, the illustration done by our designer, right? So you see how the same sketch can be visualized and presented in a context, and that shows the power of the idea. And it shows that it's a realistic, I mean, it could be a futuristic, practical, commercially viable vehicle, right? So that kind of a translation happens in this program, right? And on the left hand side, you can also see a very interesting concept, a jewelry design designed by a student. I can't see the name of the student here, but this is a very interesting concept. This is like stick-on jewelry. Siddhi. All right, Siddhi. So this is like a stick-on jewelry. How cool is that, right? So completely coming out of the traditional way of understanding what jewelry could be, right? The stick-on jewelry, how beautiful it is. So again, the way the student has represented and how it can be communicated digitally in a better fashion, right? So this is a kind of outcomes a student can expect at the end of the program. And what happens is, this particular graphic will go into the certificate of the student. So when a student successfully completes this entire program, and does a small presentation to me, Sean, and the other faculty and the parents. Then, as a appreciation and as a give back, we print this particular graphic on the certificate and we present it back to the student. So it's like a lifelong memory a student can carry with her or him after attending this particular program. Okay, so yeah, so those are the some of the interesting things I would like to tell. And some parents ask that, okay, my child is very creative, he has plenty of ideas, but he has never sketched, he has not shown interest in sketching. Okay, so what do you suggest? I mean, is it a good idea for him to attend this program or not? So as we tell you that sketching is not a criteria. What is a criteria is their interest to generate a lot of ideas and their interest to be in a non-traditional career, right? Like architecture, fashion design, or non-traditional careers, right? See, once they figure out that this is a program that interests them, or they want to become architecture fashion designer, okay, architect fashion designer or a designer, then we will get into developing the necessary skills for them to become or crack those entrance exams. That is a secondary part. The first part is to figure out whether a child fits into these particular disciplines or not. Okay, and few parents have also asked, okay, this was done physically in your studios, okay, now because of this situation, how do you organize this particular session? All right, so I would like to tell you that initially Design Quotient Labs, DQ Labs, has started as an online platform, all right, since 2007. In fact, Sean has mentored students online. I have mentored students online. I used to mentor students from UK and US when I was working there. After my office hours, I used to come back home. I used to look through the sketches done by the students, and we used to have these Skype calls, right? So now the technology has advanced, and we also had built an interesting platform called as it's powered by Example. It's called edge.dqlabs.in. In fact, we are organizing all our classes online using that particular platform, supported with GoToWebinar. Okay, so all the work the student has done in a day will have to be uploaded onto the platform. We'll give them login access, and we will be keeping a track of all their work. Okay, so when I say each project, student will be developing 30 different ideas. So there is a 10 ideas per hour. So at the end of each hour, the student will be uploading their work on the platform, and our faculty will be going through that and guiding through that. Okay, and we will be having Aishwarya and Prashant as our core faculty to teach you on a minute-to-minute basis. And of course, Sean and I will be here overseeing everybody's work and guiding the team. And sometimes we also may take a couple of classes. Some of our favorite classes, like Sean would generally take stop motion animation and photography, that are his areas of interest. And sometimes I take up the automotive styling or transportation design projects. But we all together as a team, we would be guiding the students, and I promise that the students will have a great experience of learning. And as part of the program, we also encourage you to watch certain documentaries. Okay, we used to actually play those documentaries in the physical classes, but then this time we would like to share those with you before the class starts, like maybe a day before, and we would recommend you to go through those documentaries on designers. It's very interesting documentaries. They're available on Netflix. It's called Abstract. They also released a new season. It's very interesting. And what we do is, let us say we are taking graphic design. So we will be sharing a link of a famous designer, or like a documentary on the famous designer. A day prior, we take up the graphic design as the project work. Okay, so you can go through the documentary. You will have a great understanding of what graphic design is, And when you come here with a lot of questions in your mind, and we will be able to answer all those questions that you have, and also we'll be able to do those projects nicely. Okay.
I'd just
The
like to
tool,
talk on this.
yeah,
Wait
go on.
just a second. Just like on the shelter design, which is shown up here, it is very interesting. Basically, in fact, this project was what if for disaster management, which was done a couple
Yes,
of months ago. So what if there
yes.
was floods? Can you see that image to your left, shelter design? What if there was floods in a certain area? So what kind of a product that you could design that could, be used? So a student came up with a concept. Like, in fact, I've worked in the merchant navy for 5 years before I did my design. And on all ships, we have something installed called life rafts, inflatable life rafts. They are like in an emergency, it's folded and you just have to pull a string. It automatically opens and inflates. In fact, even let's say, for example, if a ship does go down, and even if somebody does not manually uh, pull the string, it after a certain pressure depth, it automatically inflates. Okay, and it basically pops up to the surface like an inflatable life raft, like this. And this is what one of the this came from the student themselves. I mean, it was quite interesting. So life rafts like these floating all around the area where people could just jump in, get some basic shelter and some basic supplies. It's quite an interesting concept done by the student, 10th standard student Vikram Keshav. Okay, quite interesting.
Hmm.
Like we said, it's more of the idea here. So this is like a perfect example for product design, industrial design in the area of safety. In fact, actually, what people don't understand is product design is so vast. Even the medical industry hires product designers like Johnson and Johnson for medical equipment. Like in fact, we have some of our batchmates working in R&D for Johnson and Johnson, and they actually go and observe orthopedic surgeries, knee replacement, hip replacement, dental procedures, and kind of understand the efficiency, fatigue of doctors and how they use different tools for their regular work, product design, right? So just an example. Sorry, Yomesh, please continue.
Yeah. So the tools that are required to attend this classes, the design exploration program classes, are very, very simple. We don't require any fancy tools. We just want you to use your A4 sheets, the sheets that you use for printing, right? A4 sheets, and then a black pen. We would require you to use a black pen. Some people are not very comfortable using a pen. They'll say they want to use a pencil, but that's what something we would want you to cultivate, that confidence of drawing directly using a pen. And there are a couple of reasons why. Because it's very common that we make mistakes, and we don't have to be shy of those mistakes. Okay. And then if something goes wrong, you can always draw something on top of it, or maybe scratch it and do something next to it, right? We want you to understand the process that you have followed while you're generating the idea. That is very important. Let us say you make a drawing and you don't like it and you erase it off. So what happens is you're erasing that from the process, right? What is very interesting is, when certain things you draw at this point of time, you may not see them to be relevant at this point of time, but later in the future, when you're looking back to those mistakes, through those drawings and etc., you find something very, very interesting which you have not figured out before, right? And that is number one. And secondly, when you are documenting all your work, right, I can show that example here itself. For example, on the right hand side, in the circle on the right hand side, you can see the drawing, very clean, neat, legible. And the drawing on the left, the shelter drawing concept, you can't see them nicely, right? So when you draw this stuff directly using a pen, and when you scan them and upload them, you can see the quality of the drawings nicely. So we only require you to use A4 size sheets and a black pen, and maybe some kind of a craft items that you have, if you have at home. You can also use the notebook sheets, the cardboard sheets that are used on the notebooks. You can use those chart sheets. You can use, I mean, we'll be having some exercises to create some little 3D models and stuff like that. And for the transportation design, we would want you to use soap, the bathing soap. Okay, so we use the soap and simple tools like a spoon or a fork or a knife. Okay, not the knife. What do you call that? Breakfast knife, right? The spreader. Yeah, you use that to scrape out and make these models and all that. So pretty much whatever is available in your home, we use them to create, to express your models. Now, what are these models? Sometimes you may have to create drawings, and some concepts are better explained through physical models. So we create those physical models through these stuff. All right. And yeah, you will have to have a good broadband connection and maybe a smartphone or a mobile phone to basically take picture and upload onto the Edge platform. Okay. So anything else, Sean, would you like to add, or we can open the session for the questions?
Yeah, I think we can open it for questions. So let's listen to what people have to ask, because I think it's let's open it to questions. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Have any questions? You can ask us now. Any questions? It could be on absolutely.
All right. So otherwise, let me have some. I have some questions. May I know which all cities are you from? You can just type in your city that you belong to. Bangalore, Pune, Jammu. Yes, Mumbai, Ronak, Mumbai. Yes, quite a few from Bangalore. Thrissur, very nice. Yes, Andrea, Thrissur, Bangalore, Vijay. Yes. And may I know what are you studying? You can just type in your uh, what you are studying, like 11th standard, 12th, 8th, 7th, 9th standard. Rita is 11th. Okay, I'm getting some calls.
Or
I
if you're,
cannot take
if you're a
this.
parent, you just type in parent.
Yeah, if you're a parent, you can just type in parent. Ronak finished 10th standard. Prakriti from 12th standard. Very good. Aniruddha is from 7th standard. And do you all, what kind of hobbies do you have? Do you sketch? Do you do photography? Or do you do 3D models? Or, okay, Vijay is saying, okay, Mahana, I'm moving to the 11th. That's pretty good. That's very nice. Ronak says sketching. Ajusvi Jain says she finished 7th standard. So Namita is asking, okay, how many hours of class do we have on a day? So the classes are from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening, Monday to Friday. Okay, and this will go for 4 weeks. All right. So apart from that, you may have to spend maybe 1 hour at home to basically what we do is once we generate these 30 different ideas, we will ask you to take up one idea that you like the most, and we would want you to develop it further to the best possible, the way you can do. So that homework you will have to do at home. That may take 1 hour extra. Okay, and maybe if there are any documentaries or something like that, you may have to watch. You can watch them along with your family. So instead of watching some movie, you can watch this documentary. Something that you can learn watching this documentary. All right. So the classes are starting from tomorrow. Tomorrow we are having an orientation. It's not like a pre-orientation. It's like a full orientation for the program. And it is for the people who have joined for the program. It is for both the students and the parents. Okay, so the classes will start from tomorrow. Okay. Can we know who are all there in the class? Yes, Andrea. So once you join, what we do is we add you to a WhatsApp group so you can interact with them. And in fact, during the classes, we may ask you to switch on your video cams as well, so that we can see each other, and that way we can also develop a kind of a personal connect. Okay, the classes will end on, I think, 8th of May. Sean, can you just open up the schedule? I have shared it in the WhatsApp group. Yes, so Sashidhar Rajarao, I have answered your question. How many hours per day? It will be 3 hours per day, Monday to Friday. Okay, and sketching just finished 5 sketchbooks. Anuradha, so she's saying that okay, she has finished a few sketching work. That's nice. Vijay does. Ahana does a lot of drawing and sketching and character design. That's very good. Okay. Okay, so Ronak's mom is asking, okay, what is the fee for this class? The fee for this class is 23,600 inclusive of service tax of 18% GST. It is included in the program, and yes, as an outcome, they will have all the documented work of this, okay, which they can add it in the portfolio later on if they would wish to. And what is also included is the certificate that we developed, the artwork that we developed for them. Okay, that is also included in the fee. Okay, so what we do is at this point of time, we can have a e-meet with the principals or architects that we invite. You can see here the schedule for the entire coursework. And once the lockdown is over, maybe it may be like next month, or maybe in September, October, November, December, whenever it is, whenever we are safe to move around, I suggest that we will we all again join physically together sometime, and we can visit these places physically. Okay, so that is not ruled out, that is still open. And whenever we organize it, you're more than welcome to come and join. And in fact, we'll be organizing such programs all through the year, but situations have changed now, so right now we'll be restricting to e-meets only. Okay, so if you see the schedule, it's starting from 12th of April, and in fact we have also given down the topics that you will be taking up each of these days. So Saturday and Sundays we do not have any class, and the first industrial interaction happens on 20th of April, Monday. Okay, and then the second one will happen on 27th of April. The industrial interaction is either with interacting with the professionals or with the faculty of good design schools, etc. And on 7th of May, we will be having presentation of all the student works. Every student will get a 5-minute slot to present their work through this platform. Okay, and in that students are invited, parents are invited. You can also invite your friends if they would like to be part of this presentation. You can showcase what you have done during this lockdown, okay, as your summer program. And on 8th and 9th of May, very interesting activity is going to happen. Myself and Sean, we are going to spend 20 minutes of time with every student and parent individually. Okay, so we will float a form. You can choose to meet either me, e-meet either me or Sean, one of us you can meet, and we will be going through your work individually, personally. We'll be giving you feedback in terms of your aptitudes, your skills, your hidden talent, the direction you can take for your career. Okay, and any personal questions related with your career or your interests and etc. you can ask them during that one-to-one. So this we have planned for 8th and 9th of May. Okay. All right, there are a few more questions. Okay, so Namita is saying, I'm in Kendriya Vidyalaya and we have online classes these days. In case both classes are at the same time, is there any chance to attend a recorded session? Definitely, Namita, you can definitely attend the recorded session, but we are hoping because the classes are in the late afternoon, like in the evening, like 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I'm hoping you will not be having any classes during that time. Okay, but nevertheless, in case if you miss the session, we will share the recorded session with you and you can follow it up. Okay. Vijay, what are the materials needed to keep ready for the class? As I said, simple A4 sheets and a black pen. And if you have color pencils with you can keep color pencils with you. Okay. One day before the session happens, we will give you a list of materials if we require any special material that is required. In the sense, special material in the sense, apart from an A4 size sheet and a pen and pencils. Okay, if you want anything, we will mostly be asking you to gather it from your home that is available. No need to go out to buy and stuff like that. Okay. Will the recording be available? Yes, Sashida, the recording will be available. What time is the orientation tomorrow? The orientation is the same time, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, the day one will be a little longer because we want to give you exposure on the creative fields, what's going to happen. We want to take some examples of our own friends who are working in this creative industry. And we want to give you a very good understanding of the profession, including the salary part of it, the prospects part of it. And we'll be having a little bit of exercises to keep you engaged and stuff like that. Okay. Right. The tomorrow's orientation is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It was indeed, if it was a physical orientation, we had planned for 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. But because it is not happening physically, we are clubbing the class timing with the orientation timing. We'll be doing between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. Of course, yes, we will be emailing this schedule with everybody. All right. So we have your email IDs. So we will be sharing this particular schedule with you as well. All right, Ronak. Okay. Any reason for 3 hours? In general, the entire program per project, or you're asking about why orientation is for 3 hours? Anuradha, I assume that it is the entire classes, the project classes are for, in general, 3 hours. Yeah, because it takes a little bit of time to generate those many number of ideas, and in the process we also give them some understanding of basics of that particular discipline. Okay, like for example, let us say we are doing a shoe design. Okay, so the faculty will expose the student in terms of different kinds of shoes, the process involved, famous designers who does shoe design, and etc., etc. Right? And it takes a little bit of time to spend with individual student to help them if they are stuck in this in their creative process, right? So we generally found that 3 hours of time is effective. Initially, we used to have it as a 4-hour program, but we figured an efficient way of doing stuff. So it has been brought down to 3 hours. If there is a way to bring it down further, we will try our best to bring it down further. Okay. Right. Any other questions that you have?
Umesh, if I can butt in a
Yes.
little bit here.
Yes.
Right. So over the last few years, and when students have been taking this program, it's been interesting to get the feedback from parents, you know. And actually, I just want to specify here a couple of things what parents have told us. In fact, they've told us a few things that their children who've gone through this program have got so much of clarity. Some children have said, okay, I want to do design or I want to do fashion, and they got so much of clarity. Because of that, parents have actually saved stress, time, and money. Okay. Um, so that was interesting. So money, because they would have ordinarily put their kids to say engineering coaching and medicine coaching and then design coaching as well. Whereas because of this, they are able to focus primarily on design coaching only, and they don't need to focus on the other two. And this also helps um, the student get a lot more focus, okay, where they're able to focus 100% on this and actually crack these entrance exams over time. So that's the second benefit. And the third thing is in terms of stress, this child is not overstressed, they're so focused, and it just helps parents and students in all ways. And like we mentioned before, um, whether the child wants to do design or not, okay, because at the end of it, if they say I do not want to do design as a career, I'm happy as a hobby, but I don't want to make a career out of it, that is still a success story. Okay, so then they can focus their attention, time, money, and effort on engineering or medicine, right? So that's important.
I would like to share one success story here, Dion.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, there are many success stories. One of the success stories I would like to share is of Madhav Giri Prakash. He did this particular program just after his 10th. Okay, he's a brilliant chap, but the parents used to get some complaints on the student. Like the teachers used to say that, yeah, he's very brilliant, his thought process is great, and etc. But he was not able to get good marks in the boards, right? So that was the limitation, and the parent was little worried. Okay, what happens to my child, right? So he has done this particular design exploration program, and he figured that he wanted to become a designer. Okay, and he was very much interested, and the parents also supported for this interest, because this was the only time they have seen the child putting his full effort in doing these assignments and being on time to the class and looking forward to attend the class, right? So they saw that enthusiasm in the student and they supported the child. Okay, now what happened is, after this program he joined for the UCET and NIT entrance preparation with DQ labs, and we helped them prepare for the entrance exam. Now when he was doing his 11th and 12th, again the same kind of complaints were coming from his school, saying that okay, he is brilliant, but for some reason he is not able to get good marks in his physics, maths, chemistry, and etc. And the parent was again concerned, okay, what will happen to my child? Okay, but nevertheless, so he has prepared for this UCET entrance exam very nicely. UCET is undergraduate common entrance examination for design, and he got a very good rank in UCET. This is an all India rank. It's an all India exam conducted by IIT Bombay. Okay, for getting into bachelors of design in IITs. Okay, and uh, now he is in IIT Guwahati doing bachelors of design, right? So the parents are extremely happy, the student himself is very extremely happy, and they're very thankful for DQ Labs for organizing something like this, so that he could figure out what he wanted to, where his passion is, and he could utilize his creative abilities in the right way, and he is now having a great focus on the career. Okay, so that is one success story. There is another success story, Tanvi Mishra. She joined again this program, and she was, I think she was in 9th or 10th. um, she was very much interested in design, and however she wanted to go abroad for her design studies. She was not interested, very much interested to study in India. So what she did was, we helped her after this program, we helped her to prepare her portfolio, design portfolio, and she got into the best design colleges in the US, in Rhode Island School of Design, and she also secured 30% of scholarship in design, for studying design. All right, so there are many success stories. Now, this is beautiful because students are able to make informed decisions. It is not some kind of a fantasy decision saying that, okay, I want to become a designer because I saw somebody doing really well or whatever, for whatever reason. So they are making informed decisions by experiencing the design profession firsthand. And the power of these informed decisions is that once their minds are set what they want to do, nobody can stop them. You know, that's the beauty of this program, helping them make informed decisions.
Umesh, I'd just like to add here.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a student, Meghna, who is asking, I have completed my 10th standard and I'm planning to take commerce with psychology, basically
Right.
a non-science stream, and I want to
Yes.
pursue design. Will that be a limitation? Okay, so the answer to that is no limitation. You can do any bachelor's in design program, including in IITs, without PCM, without science stream. Okay, let me elaborate here. Okay, uh, some of the best institutes, NIDs, IITs, and NIFTs do not require you to have science, PCM. I mean, I'm talking about the top 11, 12 institutes, NIDs, IIT, and NIFT. However, there is one institute, IIT Guwahati, at this point of time still insists on science subjects, only IIT Guwahati. Other than that, IIT Mumbai and all the NIDs do not insist on. You can have commerce and psychology. Yes, you can join any of the NIDs or the other IIT Bombay. It does not insist, and neither do the top NIFTs. But if you want to do your bachelor's in architecture, so architecture is different, design is different. Okay, when I say design, I mean fashion design, industrial design, visual communication, IT integrated design. If you want to do your architecture, at present the rule in India is yes, you must have your physics, chemistry, and math. So the only difference is only in the case of architecture and only for IIT Guwahati. And I would suggest just for that one institute that you do not change your career option, you just take what you want to do. Okay, unless of course you're very interested in architecture and you want to study in India. Sorry, Umesh. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah. And the commerce with psychology is a very interesting combination. Psychology will help you a lot when you actually do the design course. Okay, so that's a very interesting combination. So Ronak is saying, I have completed my 10th, and if I want to continue with the designing, which stream is preferable for 11th and 12th? Yeah, as Sean has said, um, you can take any stream. There's no constraint on the stream, but your question is like, okay, which would help you most, whether arts, commerce, or science? So that's an interesting question. If you want to keep the options open, I would recommend you to take math, physics, chemistry with either computer science or psychology if possible. Okay, if you're not looking into architecture, then you can go with commerce and psychology. That's a very interesting combination that will be very helpful for you later on.
Another way of answering that question is, okay, science or a non-science subject. Um, am I okay with science? Do I hate any science subject, physics, chemistry, whatever it may be? If you really don't like any science subject, by all means, go and take any other subject, because you can still join almost 10 out of 11 institutes. Like I said, it's just only IIT Guwahati that does not take, but for the sake of that one institute, do not take science. If you're okay with science, or you enjoy science, then by all means take that as well. So you are keeping that option open. But either ways, it doesn't matter. I would answer the question by saying, what are you interested? Go with that. The only exception, when I say what you're interested in, means if you're interested in science, take science. You're in the 11th grade. If you're interested in commerce, take commerce in the 11th grade. It does not really make a difference. Okay. The only exception is if you want to be an architect, then you have no choice. You have to take science in 11th standard. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Dion, would you like to take over?
Yep. Um, right. So thank you so much for attending. A couple of things I would like to mention here. Tomorrow is the launch of the Design Exploration Program, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It would be great. So the launch is open to everybody. Okay. Um, it'll be an interesting exercise. It'll be an interesting session. There's going to be a lot of interactions there, a lot of exercises being given. So it'll be great to have all of you there. Absolutely no commitments for you to join in case you're not. But at the end of that, you can reach out to us and also let us know if you're interested in joining. Um, one last slide I have to share with you guys, with all of you, is here. Hold on. I'm going to change the presenter to myself, Umesh.
All right. And I have to attend another meeting, so I'll have to sign off now. Okay. Thank you everybody for attending this session, and I'm really excited to meet you all guys tomorrow if possible. And please do come. Please do come, and it will be a lot of fun and learning as well. All right. So thank you so much. All right,
Thanks a
Dion,
lot.
I'll have to.
Sure,
Okay.
Umesh. Okay. And do get in touch with all our counselors, any of our counselors who you'd like to connect with. Um, these are the numbers that are showing up on your screen. Either our counselors would get in touch with you. We have your details if you've filled up the form, or if you come directly without filling up the form, then you may need to get in touch with us. So looking forward to interacting with each of y'all and for you to actually join the course and experience this program over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'll be ending the session right now. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.